Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew from designACE. Thank you so much for joining. We are so excited to be talking about building real connections that convert, something I'm very passionate about and have a little bit of experience in. And we are going to jump in. So my best friend Christine and I, we founded designACE, which is a agency that helps small businesses tell their stories authentically. And we find that LinkedIn is the place to do that. So when we talk about LinkedIn and our love for it at designACE, we really like to tell entrepreneurs that this is a powerful platform, but you only get out of it what you put into it. So designACE is here to help you create content, create authority on LinkedIn, and most importantly, create new relationships. So a question I get asked a lot is, what is LinkedIn and why is it important? So LinkedIn is unlike any other social media platform. It is a professional network where you can share knowledge and build meaningful connections. And what does this look like, and what does this mean for folks that are interested in using LinkedIn? So a lot of people ask, why should I go on LinkedIn? What can I do on it? So LinkedIn is a place for you to showcase your expertise, forget being humble and pretending like it's a place for you to stand up and speak loudly from your chest with pride about what makes you special and what your superpower is. That's a way to build thought leadership and authority within your respected vertical. Ultimately, it is a place for you to nurture existing relationships and build a network beyond your immediate connection. And that's where we're going to focus our conversation today, is how do you build a network beyond your immediate connection? So I always feel I have this image whenever I'm trying to make a new friend or a new connection on LinkedIn, where it feels like you're on a playground and you have to go up to somebody and you have to be like, hi, I'm Andrew, want to be my friend, want to chat with me? It can feel awkward and it can feel stifling. So a lot of people feel like just putting out content is a great way of getting noticed, which is part of the equation. But you can put out as much content as you want. If you're not using that content intelligently and you're not using that content to connect with people, then post all day, post all night, brother, sister, you are not going to get any new friends and you're not going to push your business forward. So as much as it is important to put out great content, it is important to be thoughtful about how you reach out to people and start to build those relationships beyond just the network that you currently have. So something that we get asked a lot at designACE is, why am I getting ghosted? People come to us all the time and they say, Andrew, I'm putting out content all the time. I'm posting, I'm sending connection requests, but people aren't responding. It's because you're spamming people. People have a very short attention span, shorter than a goldfish, indeed. Now, thank you. And because of this very short attention span, you have to be quick, you have to be compelling, and you have to be authentic, because people have a BS tolerance that is so low that if you're reaching out and you're trying to spam them and you're sending the same message to everyone, it's going to read that way. So think about when you're creating outreach and you're writing that, giving somebody the whole life story, don't do that. Think about, can somebody read my outreach in 8 seconds or less? And if they can't, then it's probably time for you to shorten your outreach approach. So the fix is to make it personal, to make it relatable, and to keep it real, which is easier said than done. So all outreach starts with a connection request. LinkedIn is fantastic that it lets you reach out to people that you know or don't know and send them a connection request. And then it puts the onus on the person you're reaching out to decide whether they want to connect with you or they want to ignore. So what we see a lot is folks will send out the same connection request over and over again, and there's nothing personalized about it. So you want to call out something specific about the person that you're reaching out to. So some good examples of this are, hey, I noticed we're both small business. We're both in this industry. We both have an interest in. You want to showcase that you're on the same wavelength, where the vibe is, that you're the same energy, that you come from the same place, the same community, that you have the same goals and needs. Ultimately, why does that person want to connect with you? So skip the sales pitch. You only have between 150 to 250 characters, depending on the type of LinkedIn account you have. So this is not the place to be selling yourself. This is a place to have a short and impactful message between 200 and 400 characters that is authentic, that speaks to why you want to connect with them, that creates a shared vibe between you and that person, and that really anchors that outreach in why they should click accept. So here's a quick win. Before you connect with somebody, spend 2 minutes to look at their profile, Google them, even go beyond, look at their Instagram, see what they're posting about. If they have a company, have they put out any recent blogs or announced any great new work? Use this little research as a way to really personalize and make your connection authentic. A good example of this is if I recently put out a blog about how to build connections in real time on LinkedIn, you could say, hey, I love that recent blog on connections. I'm trying to build connections. So do you want to connect? Find your own approach to making yourself authentic, but making sure that you're putting the interest and the emphasis on the person you are trying to connect with. 2, so you're lucky enough to have somebody connect with you. If I send you a connection request and then we've connected and that's lovely, now what? Do you just sit in my social feed and hope that one day something happens? There's no room for passive connections here. Once you connect with somebody, it's important for you to initiate that next step in the relationship. Again, this isn't the place to spam somebody and be like, please buy my products from me. But this is a good place for you to share a recent blog that you could think is relevant to them. Send a personalized thank you for connecting with them. Give them something worth their time if you have a free resource, something that you've recently shared with their community, and spark some curiosity by asking them a question. People prefer to talk about themselves than to talk about you. They don't know you, but they do know themselves. So ask something about their business. Try to come up with some genuine icebreakers that help you start to relate to that person. I think just off the top of my head, I like to ask people, is there a piece of work that you're especially proud of? Is there a project that you've accomplished? Is there something I can share with my network that you're currently promoting? This, again, takes the onus off of them and allows you to be an asset for them. And this is an example of why people sometimes then get ghosted on that second message is, we've now connected. I'm now sending you something that's way overly automated, something that is way overly inauthentic. That's not going to get you the connection that you want. So really, again, go back to what we said before. You've spent 2 minutes looking at their profile, so you know what's relevant in their life. Find something that's new and exciting, praise them, ask questions, dig in, and of course, show authenticity and be brief. No one wants to read your whole essay on why you think connecting with them is great. So here's a quick win. So I'm sure you have a connection that's sitting in your inbox that you're not sure what to do with, that you're like, okay, we've connected. Reach out to that person and try to spark a meaningful conversation. Ask them about themselves, ask them about a recent win, ask them about something that they're proud of, and see what kind of a conversation you can strike up. And when you're doing this, keep in mind, what is your ultimate goal? For me personally, I love setting up virtual coffees. So when I'm reaching out to people, I'm asking them questions with the intention that hopefully I'm going to be able to set up a virtual coffee with them. Okay, so something that is often a curiosity of myself and my team, and we do a lot of testing around when we see most successful, is time of day. Does this have an impact? So absolutely it does. I think you want to be, first of all, really aware of the time zone and place that the person you are reaching out to. If I'm reaching out to people in the Philippines and trying to spark up a conversation, I need to remember that they're a full 12 hours ahead of me. So if I'm sending them something 9 a.m, they're actually receiving that 9 at night. So think about time zones and where the person is. And then think about how you can engage that person by finding a time that works. So we always say that Monday through Thursday is the sweet spot for LinkedIn, and send them a message and think about that time. And then what we like to recommend is then also comment and engage with their recent posts. We all put out content and feel that, is anyone going to like this? Is anyone going to care? Why am I even doing this? Oh my God, I can't believe I just shared that. I just put out a message that's personal. I just shared a post that's personal. And everyone appreciates a like. Everyone appreciates a repost. People love it when you engage with their content. So if you've already sent them a connection request, you've already sent them a nice message, the third thing I would suggest doing is send them a comment. Okay, send them a repost. Give them a moment of your time and share your audience with them, because this is again going to start to show that you are cued in and that you're paying attention. So I'll share a little story of right now we're out hiring and we've for a sales position, and we've been going out to a lot of different salespeople. A lot of people are sending in their applications, but then only a few I've noticed are actually smart enough to go in and send me a connection request, ask me something smart about myself, and then what I personally love the most, because we all love attention, is being engaging in those comments, being engaging with the posts that we're putting out. And that really catches my eye, and that really makes me go, this is somebody that's standing out to me, because they've not just done the bare minimum of sending me their resume. They've not just done the bare minimum of sending me a note that is, I can clearly see that they've sent this note to 1,000 people. This person is now going above and beyond. They're engaging with my content. They're engaging with my company's content, and they're really going above and beyond. So if you're trying to get something out of somebody, like a meeting, a job, a recommendation, a new connection, think about their content as a way for you to get on the inside track of what is important to them. So again, on LinkedIn, we're always trying to push outsiders of ourselves and make that genuine connection. And the way we do that is by thinking about what is important to other people. So something that I would encourage you to do is spend 10 minutes today engaging on LinkedIn. I put this in my calendar for Wednesdays at between 10 and 10:30. I make sure that I have at least 30 minutes a week, but we'll start you with 10. Time box it in your calendar of 10 minutes to go out and engage. Keep track of people that you're reaching out to so that you can easily go to their accounts and say, okay, I know Christine recently posted something. I'm going to comment on that. Joanna recently shared an article. I want to make sure I posted on that. Marco put out a great video. I want to give him praise, and I want to share that video with my network. The more that you can create repetition in this behavior, is the better of a habit you will build. And LinkedIn is a platform that people don't use every day. It's not like Instagram where we're all addicted and we're like scroll. So think about how you can divert some of that time from X, from TikTok, from Facebook, whatever your platform du jour is, and think, okay, how can I spend that time endlessly scrolling to endlessly making new connections and building my business and building new relationships? LinkedIn is the place, my friend. So start with that 10 minutes, and I'll just stop and say we have some great engagement checklists that you can get from our site. And most importantly, we have a great LinkedIn playbook that right now is out that really talks about the power of connections. So we'll put that in the chat, and I encourage you to download it. It's free. This is our third playbook. What's fantastic about this is we give you examples, we give you resources, we give you self-assessment so that you can test what type of outreach you're doing now versus the type of outreach you accomplish once you've learned from us as pros. So please download a copy, let us know how it is, share with your friends, and think about how you can use this tool to build your LinkedIn profile, and most importantly, build those authentic connections. So we all talk about it. You can't open your news feed or listen to a podcast without somebody talking about AI. I don't know if you guys have heard, but AI is a thing, and it's something that we're all using. At designACE, we use a little bit of AI. I like to say that it's a great bookend. It's a great way to get started, or it's a great way to finish off, but you can't overly rely on AI because people know, they can feel how inauthentic that is if you're just pumping out AI content. So that's why working with a place like designACE is fabulous, because we will teach you the right amount of AI for you to use. So some examples of how to use AI. For me personally, I use Grammarly, which is an amazing spell check tool, but also helps give you little nudges in how you can make this a little bit more friendly, a bit more professional, a little bit more engaging, all driven by AI. So this is what I say is a good bookend. So if I'm starting to write something authentically as myself, I then use Grammarly to make sure that I'm really polished and presenting myself and that I haven't missed any spelling. Or another example is coming up with ideas, brainstorming. If you want to use ChatGPT to come up with new ideas on what to post, that's a fantastic way to say, hey, I want 20 ideas. And then you can scroll through and you're like, oh, I like 3 or 4 of these. It's a great brainstorming way to bounce ideas off. And you can even ask it, hey, can you start this post for me? But then ultimately you have to take what AI has done and you have to rewrite it. You have to No matter how many prompts and how much personality and how much authenticity you pour into that AI, it's still just a tool that is copying what everyone else is doing. So if you do want to stand out and you don't want to just get to the bottom of the AI, to the algorithm, you need to take what ChatGPT or your choice of AI tool, use it as a starting point, really make sure that you are going in there, rewriting, making sure that your tone, your voice, and your personality is present. And then a good way to then bookend that would be using Grammarly to make sure that as you've rewritten it, you haven't all of a sudden injected a bunch of spelling and grammar mistakes. Another great example is Opus. It's a great tool. Opus AI, it's a great tool. Opus Clip, it's a great tool that we use to make little shorts. If you want to make some quick reel style videos, you can take a YouTube or a podcast that you've done, you can put it in, it can make some great tools. That's a great way to start, but then ultimately you have to go in and you have to make sure the sound bites are right. So don't just blindly use AI and think that is going to make your life perfect, because it won't. So how to use AI when you're doing outreach? Think about your voice. So it's okay if you want to, for example, use AI to brainstorm, give me 20 icebreakers that I can use when I'm reaching out to people on LinkedIn. Great. But then when you're actually sending that message to Christine and you're saying, hey, this is my icebreaker, make sure that you're rewriting it for her. For an example, hey, I noticed that you recently posted about this. Can you icebreaker? Marrying those two things of I'm noticing that you're a real person with real experiences that I want to comment on, and then using AI to help prompt along how I can stir a conversation and get things going is absolutely fantastic and is a great way. Something that I'd really suggest is using it for also like warm introductions. If you do know somebody that you can put in a little bit of information about something, like you can go to their page and you can say, hey, here are 5 things that I know about Christine. Can you make this a little bit more warm so that when I'm reaching out to her, I can have a bit more of an authentic approach? So don't just use ChatGPT blindly, use it intelligently, and always make sure to be rewriting. And the last thing I'll say on this is make sure that you're respecting people's boundaries, okay? AI can make things easy, which means that you can move quickly, which means that all of a sudden it seems like there's an unlimited capacity to send out content. But that doesn't mean you can start bombarding people's inboxes and sending them endless messages where you're like, hey, I reached out yesterday. People don't use LinkedIn every day. So send a connection request, and once you get it, make sure you follow up. But if you don't get a response to that follow-up, don't then the next day be like, why haven't you responded to my message? Maybe that person only goes on LinkedIn once a week. Maybe they only go on it once a month. Leave the ball in somebody's court. If you've commented on a post, if you're engaged in other ways, then it's okay to circle back at the end of that month and say, hey, this is a new message. I would like to just remind you that I'm here. If you want to grab a virtual coffee, you can book through my Calendly link. So it's all about making sure that you're keeping things human and keeping things respectful and not getting bogged down by the proverbial silver bullet that AI presents itself. Because ultimately, you are going to be inauthentic if you're just using ChatGPT to blast people constantly all day, every day. It's not going to build you the network you want. And ultimately, it's not going to get you the connections that convert, which is ultimately why we are here. So what I want you to do is, a quick win for you is to open your AI-generated outreach message and personalize that message. Spend 60 seconds thinking what you can do for a human edit. So for me, I'm all about rewriting the intros and outros of a message, making sure that it really seems authentic to you. So take a look at the AI messages you're sending or the AI content that you're putting out and think about how you can spend just a minute rewriting that message to make it a little cleaner and a little bit more engaging. And I promise you that you are going to have much, much better results. Because ultimately, people do want to connect and people do want to make new friends. They just want to make them with people, not robots. A good litmus test that I like to use is, would you yourself respond to this message? We all get bombarded with LinkedIn messages. We all get bombarded with LinkedIn connection requests. So really take a step back and think, okay, is this message something that is going to elicit a response from me? And if it is, then that is a good place to click go and reach out. How designACE can help make outreach effortless. There's a lot of ways we love to work with customers. We love helping you find your perfect leads and building your perfect profile. So if you're a little bit stuck and you're thinking, I I don't have time, or I'm overwhelmed, or I'm going on LinkedIn every day and just spending so much of my time, I have other things as an entrepreneur, reach out to us and we are here to help. We're not just about ghostwriting, and we're not somebody that's going to send 1,000 outreach messages for you that are blind. We're really about personalization and authenticity. Reach out to us if you are an entrepreneur who is overwhelmed with the amount of outreach they're trying to do. Reach out to us if you're an entrepreneur who is trying to build authentic connections but can't seem to get any. Reach out to us if you are somebody who has crafted your profile but you're ready to hand it off to somebody because you have other focuses on your time. I love sharing this recommendation from a customer of ours where Samantha GiveCloud is a customer of ours that I was able to build from outreach to their CEO on LinkedIn. So it really is a very full circle moment to reach out to somebody, build that relationship, and now be helping them do that outreach. But this testimonial really speaks to the fact that we love helping people. We love going above and beyond. And we're not just marketing, we're not just branding, we're not just sales support. We are your total agency support. We are an extension of your team. We are people that are going to take the time to get to know you and to build something really authentic that highlights you as an entrepreneur, that creates a conversation between you and your company that is exciting and engaging. And ultimately, we are going to help you learn how to reach out to people and build those connections that convert so that you aren't just putting out content, but you're actually creating a conversation and you are building your network and finding new customers, because that's really what we all need in our lives, is that next customer and that next relationship that's going to help us build our empires and chase down that hustle that we're all working so hard for. So a quick win for you is make a list of the top 3 LinkedIn tasks that you feel take up your time, and think about how much time you're putting into that. So think about if you're putting out a lot of content, if you're sending a lot of messages, if you're doing a lot of outreach, think about the amount of time you are putting into that. And then think about what you could do if you had somebody in your corner supporting you, doing it for you, so that you didn't have to worry about that yourself. You're going to see that a partner like designACE could really open up your time, really allow you to spend your effort nurturing your business in the 1,001 places that are calling on you to be present as a founder, as an entrepreneur. And then think about whether we as designACE can help you. I would love to do a free LinkedIn audit for you. So please reach out if I can. I am here for you, your small business buddy, who will very happily spend time before you sign a contract, before you buy anything from me. I'm always happy to sit down with you and give you some recommendations on what your profile is doing well and where your profile could use a little bit of love. So please, we're putting that in the chat. If you do, please book a free session with me and I will spend some time with you giving you some recommendations. Whether you work with us or not, I promise you, you will walk away from this session knowing LinkedIn a little bit better, knowing how you can shine authentically, and seeing a path forward to building those connections that convert. At designACE, we are experts in building a unified brand and optimizing profiles and community management, SEO, content creation, design support. We do it all, and we do it with love, and we do it as an extension of your team. So think about that. And if you're not ready to work for us, please download our LinkedIn playbook. This is our 3rd iteration. Like I was saying, this is all about building real connections. We have 3 incredible playbooks that are free, that are packed full of amazing resources, and that are here to set you up for success. And with that, I want to thank everyone for your time today. I'm Andrew from designACE, founder of designACE, and you can check us out at LinkedIn, designACE.ca, online, www.designace.ca. And also, just if you want to connect with me directly, I'm happy to spend a little bit of time with you talking about how we can turn LinkedIn into your most powerful channel. Thank you so much for taking your time with me today. I really appreciate all of you, and good luck on your journey and building those connections that convert.